Hello? How's it going? My name is Tucker, but most of you guys know me as Jezreel. At least that's the persona that I've put on for I'd say for like a year of my life, maybe a few months, And here I am on the same channel talking about how I left. And I don't expect people to come back to this channel. I don't expect people to really look back at this channel with memories, considering that it's a channel that has been left for dust, and that's a real bummer to me specifically. I left this channel completely, and I I'm not gonna say I feel bad about it, because there are just certain aspects to what went into making these certain types of videos, and what I just didn't enjoy about it, and I'm gonna get pretty personal into this video, but overall, I'm just gonna freely talk about what's been on my mind recently, and obviously it's been a year since I've last uploaded, and that isn't ideal for a upload schedule for video essays every week, but it'll work. So let's start with where I've been. So I've just been under the radar. I've really just been into the aspect of wanting to be more creative. I've wanted to be creative my whole life. My whole shtick is that I want to be creative, and I want people to look at what I make, and I want people to enjoy it as much as I do. And for the longest time, it's always been two conflicting battles. Every time I've made a video, it's either I make something and nobody enjoys it as much as I do, or no one sees it, or everyone sees it and I don't enjoy what I make. And that's what really struck me down with this channel. This channel in particular, I really, for a time, I enjoyed making videos on here. For a time, I did really enjoy how things were going. I enjoyed the attention that I was getting. I enjoyed most of what was going on and how I was taking care of things on this channel. But in general, I wasn't eventually I wasn't happy with how I was making these videos. I wasn't happy with the creative process that was going through these channels. And it's crazy, because every time I go back through these videos, they average like 500 views a video. Some videos getting 5,000 plus views, and it's like, man, it really is. It's amazing that I had my own small community for the longest time. I had this small community for, I want to say, like a year, and I just threw it all away. That's what really ate me up for the longest time. And at this point, I'm starting to believe that I don't really care, like, how things go for specific channels. I've been trying to make YouTube work for most of my life. I'm 17 years old now, and I've started to realize a lot more things about myself. Recently I've been getting into writing and voice acting and stuff. If you guys want to check that out, you guys can check it out in the link in description. I've been doing stuff that I've been really creatively happy with, and that's not how I felt with these types of videos. Now, do I regret making these videos? Absolutely not. And it's just so surprising that, I just look back at these videos and I don't think the videos are good. I don't think the videos are like very, I don't think I put much effort into these videos, and yet I was getting a pretty decent hunk of success, man. Like, this channel is the most subscribers, most views, most success, most comments, most engagements that I've gotten on a channel before. And I was just, it didn't get overwhelming at all. It was like, it was everything I've ever wanted. It's everything I still want. And it's just like, eventually when you get to that point where you start getting the things that you want, you feel like you have to kick things up a notch to maintain that success. Even though the success isn't necessarily huge by any means, it's still content for me. And, I've had videos that have flopped before. I posted a video about Super Mario Logan, and the thumbnail was terrible. It was awful. And, this was around the time that I was using PixArt to edit my thumbnails. And, it's just like, in general, like it's kind of hard to explain. It's like the feeling that I get when I look back at these these videos, it shows that I was still learning. And the fact that people cared more about when I was still learning than the finished product is kind of, it's surprising. It's shocking almost. And I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily, because these videos they are a part of my life, and I regret leaving it for a time, but I definitely do think I should have taken at least a break, and I think I should have just taken a step back to really consider how I was doing things, and just like in general, it was just grab a bunch of clips, throw them into Premiere Pro, and then talk over it, write a script or just go off the top of my head. And, I didn't really do much, and I think that's what really sparked my writing interest in general, was just like, I didn't want to write these half-assed scripts that I was just talking over clips that were already created, and eventually my mind started to grow more towards like, I want to make those videos in the background of those commentary videos. I want to be a creator. I want to be creative. And, and that desperate attempt, you could tell by the exploring the Kendrick versus Drake feud, it was partially blocked, of course. But in general, I seriously put probably the most effort into that video, and it got no views. And this was like months after the GTA video that I released came out. And I think those videos were the most content that I was when it came to making those videos, is the GTA video and the Minecraft video. The Minecraft video started, it was just really fun to make, just like, it was just so different, it really like tapped into the personal touch rather than the facts that I've just been giving throughout the videos, like, oh, the Smosh did this, oh, Too Mad did this, oh, Tyler the Creator did this back then. The Minecraft and the GTA videos, I think the problem with what I was doing was the fact that it wasn't as personal as I would have liked to make it. And that's probably where I went wrong, is back then I wasn't really mindful of what I was enjoying, and I was more mindful of what you guys were enjoying rather than what I was enjoying. And I in a sense, I don't regret anything with this channel. I seriously, I don't. But I just wish I did more with this channel. And, I think I might start publishing more on this channel. Maybe, from time to time whenever I feel like just posting random stuff or random venting videos. Or just, just to talk about my creative mindset when it comes to stuff like this. It shows that I really do look back at, what people say. People still go back to that Tyler the Creator video, the most interesting artistic evolution, and I look back and I'm like, damn, dude, a lot of people really supported me. And I just, for a time, I just blamed myself for not taking advantage of that. There was this YouTuber that posted like months later. His name was Real Spatial. By the way, look at his channel. He makes very good videos, and he has 64,000 subscribers. And he commented on my video saying, "Great video. I hope you never stop." And it was a little late. And so that definitely made me feel a little different, but either way. I've seen this channel gain some subscribers in the past few months, and I can tell that people are just now finding this channel, and I do hope that people see this video in particular, because this is the most open that I've been for a video. And it's not just to explain where I've been. It's not just to explain what's been going on in my life. Although that is a part of what the video is. It's just to talk about, personally what I'm enjoying nowadays. And if you guys want to see that stuff, like, what do you guys want to see? It's not just about me. It's about you guys too. And I don't think I did that enough in particular, specifically with this channel. I started this channel making like Gmod troll videos because I wanted to be Bub Games so bad. But then I started realizing that like it just wasn't working. Like there's just got to be a point where you see something that's not working, you get tired of it, and then you make something else. So then I made the Grammys popularity contest video, and it instantly got 400 views, gaining, I was at like 15 subscribers after that video. And then I just kept uploading. And then I made the Tyler the Creator video, and then my that eventually that 15 went to 50, and then it went to 100, and as much I'm not, it's just like I'm glad that I have value in what most people consider small, if that makes any sense. People always told me all the time when they were watching my videos, dude, you're the best small channel, like I wish more people knew about you. And that just meant like the world to me. Like knowing that I was somebody that was underground and that I had my own community backing me up. It really meant a lot. And overall, it's just like this channel really does hold a special place in my heart, and I will never ever forget the name Jezreel. And I even make I from time to time I make TikTok videos under the name Jezreel. Like the name Jezreel is so iconic to me and my friend group, like just in general. Like I just love everything about this channel, and I really wish that things turned out differently. But maybe once this starts going off, maybe I'll start publishing other videos. Maybe I don't have to post documentaries anymore. Maybe I don't have to post video essays. Maybe I can just post commentary like this over some gameplay. Like maybe I can just do my own thing on a channel that was designed for one thing. And I think that's what is needed for a lot of channels, is that they need to have a sense of personality in them. And that is the one thing that I tried to discover for my whole life when it came to YouTube. When I was like 10 years old, I was just like, I want to be a YouTuber. And my awesome dad, he got me this computer. It wasn't like the greatest computer ever, and I complained obviously about it because it wasn't like the greatest computer ever. But it, like, now that I'm growing up, I'm about to graduate high school, which is even crazier that I'm trying to figure all this stuff out before I even graduate. It's just like in general, I'm starting to realize that you can't change the past. You can't change what's already been done. And that could go for anything, really. That can go for like love, relationships. That can go for how things went at your job interview. That could be how things went with a friend. Like that could be literally for anything. It could be literally for anything. Time keeps moving, man. The world keeps moving. Like, life doesn't stop for anybody, as Kevin Hart said it. And I just, it's a giant, long journey that we're all taking together when you really think about it. And I think, in a sense, we need to stick together, but at the same time, we also need to split up. And I think it's good to be vulnerable, especially, as a content creator that hasn't had much success, but has had the experience of learning the ins and outs of how the algorithm works, kind of. Just in general, like, it's just, I don't know. I apologize for rambling for 15 minutes now, but I just wanted to say, I wanted to come on here and say that I love you guys. And, I might start using this channel as a throwaway channel, just to update my own self. And, I'm not making it for people anymore. I'm making it for myself. And if you guys want to join me along the way, then that'll be awesome. But until then, I appreciate all of you guys if you're still there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.